It is about 16,000 people get diagnosed with serious skin cancer. Early detection, you can save lives.
It's not about just the white skin colors, dark skin. Anyone who is exposed, who is in sun, needs to be aware of it.
Welcome to Daily Dose with Dr. Tanya. We're going to talk everything about health, wellness, beauty, and things between. As a doctor, as a mother, and an entrepreneur who is a founder of a skin brand, I have a lot to share and talk to you. Each week, we will look into certain topics and we will discuss in-depth, honest discussions with the leading experts and gain practical steps and tips so that you can live well, age well, and be happy and glow from within. So from skincare to self-care, from hormones to hustle, this is your space where we will have real conversation, real results from real people. So let's get started.
Hi, welcome to Daily Dose by Dr. Tanya. So today we are going to discuss about something that's so important while we are here in Australia. In Australia, the sun is so beautiful, but that doesn't come without problems. So today I've been joined by Dr. Samreen, who is an expert in skin cancer, and she works at Amtan Omo Village. So thank you so much for joining us in. And
Thanks a lot for having me. Yeah.
You're welcome.
This is a great platform for us to talk about this important skin cancer issue in Australia. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
One of the important things that we often not talk enough about is 2 out of 3 Australians develop skin cancer, which is about 16,000 people get diagnosed with serious skin cancer every year. And that's such a burden to the health system. So it makes it even more important for us to talk about this more, so that your practice on a daily basis, you see a lot of skin cancers.
Yeah.
So what causes skin cancers in Australia?
Really a good question. And yes, we see so many patients all the time. They've got skin cancers. But the thing is, I think the root cause goes back to the exposure, environment. I think this is a big cultural pattern around here as well. And skin type. We've got high risk skin type that is usually with the exposure, you would just be at high risk of getting skin cancers. So there are things that we are going to talk about, how we can prevent it, what are the ways, what are the things you can implement to get early detection. And it's really important, then we can save lives.
Absolutely, yeah. Early detection, you can save lives. That is a very key message. Now, talking about in Australia, we are one of the very lucky countries that we get, sunlight most of the year. And with the sunlight, there are 3 types of light that we need to be looking at. The first one is the light that we can see. The second one, it's the heat that we feel, that's the infrared. But it's the third one that is the villain, which is the ultraviolet. So, Samreen, what does that do to the skin?
So, I think the ultraviolet is the one that we need to be really careful about because you don't see it, but it's the one that actually gets into your skin, it damages your skin, and that's really the one that causes more damage. We being at risk, and it's not about just the white skin colors, dark skin. Anyone who is exposed, who is in sun, needs to be aware of it. And the best thing we can do, the first and the most important thing, is getting onto sunscreen.
You touched on a very important thing there.
Yeah.
Lot of people that we see believe that, I've got dark skin type, so I won't get skin cancer.
That's true, yeah.
It is so wrong. And we will talk to you about our case story of what we have seen.
That's exactly I don't want to interrupt, but personal experience, I have seen dark skin colored patients with melanoma. So just don't be in that, definitely.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter whether you're dark skin type or you're fair skin or red hair. It doesn't matter. If you have sun exposure, you've lived in Australia, you don't wear sunscreen, and that would put you at a same level of risk just like anybody else. So that's a very important point. And you talked about your patient who's dark skin type developing skin cancer, melanoma. And I have had a similar experience as well. Someone dark skin type having, I could detect and save that person's life from melanoma on her nails. So there are like, we can give lots of different patient stories where you wouldn't expect that would be that little dot that just appeared from nowhere, and it's growing fast, and it would be probably at the least expected site, like for instance under the nail or something like that.
Yeah.
That needs to be checked. So
So I think that's really a good point. And I would just like to highlight here that, anything can be significant. So if you notice any mole, if there is anything that's on the skin and you feel like it's looking different, it's getting bigger in size, it's changing, getting darker, just seriously get it checked. Go to a doctor, go to a proper skin doctor. Just make sure that you go to the right professional person. And early detection, as we have spoken about before as well, is really important for prevention, because melanomas are quite serious and they can actually cost you your life. So just be careful with skin check. We encourage everyone to come and get skin check at least every 12 months, but depending on your risk, like if there is what's your exposure is like, what's your family history is, that just increases your risk, and you might need to have more often skin checks than like 6 monthly rather than 12 months. So
that's right. Yeah. And we've heard a lot of slip, slap, slope, shade, all of it. But what we also notice is that people, despite all these campaigns, they still don't wear sunscreen because, I've heard things like, oh, it's not sunny today, so, I didn't bother. Or as you said, as we are having a chat, that you find people sometimes even wearing without the shirt.
That's right. Like we get all these tradies, like, they're working outside, long hours, no shirts at all, no sunscreen. Just imagine what's the risk they're, getting their in self, like they're getting to their selves and they're exposed. So that's really high risk, isn't it?
So do yourself a favor. If you're a tradie, if you are someone who work outdoor most of the time, do yourself a favor. Book your skin check regularly every year, like minimum every year. And depending on your risk and depending on your, your skin, like any atypical moles or whatever, your doctor will then be able to give you an idea of whether you're a 1 yearly check or maybe a 6 monthly check.
I think I'll just like to highlight one more thing. We've been talking about the dark moles, but it's not just the dark moles, right?
Yeah.
There is like, if you've been in, if you have a previous history of a burn or any kind of a burn, that's a high risk area as well. We're not just talking about and looking at dark moles. We are also looking at any ulcers or any, small little sores that's not healing or been there for like 3 months, 6 months, getting bigger in size, not really going away. That's another sign to get it checked. And it's not just the dark moles. Sometimes it can be just like light pink kind of a mole. Yeah. We have one kind of a melanoma that we call as a melanocytic melanoma. It's not a typical dark pigmented melanoma. It's pinkish in color.
Yeah.
So just be aware of small little changes. I think the best thing you can do is get a proper skin check.
100% right. And another thing I like to add there is, people often think that when you're driving, you're inside the car, it is all right. It's not the case. I've seen, I'm sure you've seen as well, people who drive a lot for their work, it's one side is much more sun exposed, as well as when you drive, the dashboard, the light hits back, it reflects on your face, and you get another type of exposure and your forearms. So really, even if you're inside the car and you think that you're fine, I don't get outside, you are still at risk, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. And we see like mostly any exposed areas, arms, hand, and the side of the face.
Yes. I often tell my patients, your skin tells the whole story, the entire story of your life. Meaning, what is the type of work you do, how well you have looked after yourself, and what is the kind of trauma you have gone through, because your skin is kind of like, it's not just the face is a mirror, but the skin is also a mirror to
That's
your
true. Yeah.
overall well-being. Before we end, we will add something about the playgrounds and open spaces. We are concerned about the playground and open spaces where there's not enough shades, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. Like, we have got young kids. We always go to the playground, and mostly I think we really need to have a bit of a cover, a shade, trees and things, because that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I would really like to highlight here as well is young kids. I know we are very particular about encouraging them about sunscreen, but I think that's something, being a parent, we need to be careful about and just remind our young kids so that they
check
get into
for the
a habit.
shade wherever possible, isn't it?
That's
Check if you have got
right,
shade, that's something that is easily done. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it today. So I hope you got something out of today's conversation with Dr. Samreen. Make sure you book your skin check every year, at least to begin with. And then don't forget to wear sunscreen, whether it's sunny or not. If you're going out, you need to wear sunscreen regardless. Bye.
See ya.